When it comes down to budgeting, you need to know what to spend money on and what to save money on. On today's video, I am going to be sharing with you some tips that can let you save money on renovating your bathroom. So if you're one who wants to renovate your bathroom, you've seen all these lovely good ideas on Pinterest, on magazines, or maybe you've even been to the shops and you thought, oh, that would be a good idea. That looks really nice. That looks really good. I would like to do that. Stay tuned to the end of this video and I will be sharing with you some tips that can save you thousands of pounds. My first tip will be to repaint your vanity unit, and you can start by changing it to a really nice color that you like, or you can change the undo. You can get really good undos from Amazon, from different places, B&Q, or you can even get it from a kitchen shop. Just find something that is not too bulky. A really nice undo can change the unit. You can also change the tap. You can get it in a different color that you had before. Just something to elevate your vanity unit without having to change the whole thing or change the whole bathroom. My second tip would be to choose a deck mounted tap. The reason why I say this is I'm sure you might have seen those luxurious bathrooms either on Pinterest or online. They look so beautiful with those wall mounted taps. But if you're budget conscious, and that's what we're talking about here today, you actually want to go for a deck mounted tap. The reason is because the wall mounted taps requires you to either chase down your wall, you might have to chase your wall, you might have to build a stud wall, you might have to alter your pipe works, and all of this requires quite a few amount of cash. So the best thing to do is choose a deck mounted tap, and that will reduce your costs. My next tip is to do with towels. I'll give you two tips with this one. When it comes to towels, you want to choose a large towel because that means less grouts, less labor work, less fillers. So that's a good one to do. Also, you might want to just actually towel one side of your bathroom. Where your bath is, where you take your shower, where there's a lot of water running there, that's fine. Tile it all the way to the top of the wall. But on the other side, where you're not using, you're not splashing water there, you're maybe just hanging your towels and things like that, you're putting your radiator there, you don't need to tile it. You don't need to tile the whole bathroom. So that will also save you some money. My next tip would be color drenching, and this is one of the affordable ways of design that can actually save you a lot of money when it comes to budgeting in the bathroom. I actually spoke about this in one of my previous videos, which is how to elevate your small bathroom. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and watch. But the main thing you do here is you use the same color to color your walls. So you paint your walls in the same color, the ceiling, the woodwork, and your skirting boards as well. So everything is the same color. This really elevates the room. It makes it feel larger and it makes the room feel taller as well because it draws your eye all the way to the ceiling, which is a really good tip. So this way you will save money and you would also have a good design in terms of color in your bathroom. My next tip will be lighting. Lighting can actually transform your bathroom, but rewiring can become quite expensive quite quickly. So the best thing you want to do, instead of rewiring the whole house or rewiring the whole bathroom, I would advise that you get battery operated lights or rechargeable lights. They sell loads of different versions of them on Amazon, in different stores. They are really pretty ones nowadays that you can get. By doing this, you will save yourself a good amount of money on rewiring, on getting an electrician, or chasing down walls. And even after you finish chasing down the walls, you have to make sure you redecorate as well. So this will save you quite a good amount of money. My next tip would be to replace your mirrors. You can get really nice mirrors nowadays. They have different shaped ones, something interesting that can really elevate your bathroom. And this is where you don't need to spend too much money on here. There's so many mirrors that you can get. You can get ones that have a storage. You can get one that doesn't have a storage. The ones I always shy away from are the ones that have LED lights built in them. Just because when something goes wrong with LED lights, then you're kind of stuck. You have to replace the whole thing. So I would rather as I mentioned earlier, get those wall lights, the chargeable ones, on the each sides of the mirror, and have a lovely nice mirror in the middle. That's what I would do. I've got one currently at the moment in terms of mirrors that has LED lights built in it. I mean, I've had it for a long time, about say roughly 7-8 years now, and I'm beginning to see rust where the lights are, where the LED lights are built in there. So if I was to replace it, because I don't like that rust, I'd have to replace the whole thing. Whereas if you have your lights separate to the mirror, you don't always have to replace the whole thing. When one thing goes wrong, you only have to replace one thing. Now, are you ready for the £1,000 saving tip? It is making sure that you leave your plumbing where they are. When it comes to your tap, your vanity, your basin, your vanity unit, your toilet, your bath, just make sure you leave everything where they are, if you can. I know a lot of you tend to change your toilet from where they are to another place, because when you open the door, the first thing you see is a toilet. And we always go on about the first thing you want to see is not a toilet. But in moving anything in terms of a tap or a toilet, you are going to be racking up a lot of costs. So my advice to you, to save you a lot of money when it comes to budgets, the number one tip, if you don't take anything out of this video, is to try as much as possible to keep your plumbing exactly where they are. Yes, it would improve your layout when you move them, but if you can live with them, keep them where they are. Hey, if you're enjoying watching this video, go ahead and give us a like button, and you can consider actually subscribing to the channel. My bonus tip for this video will be anything that you tend to touch, use regularly in the bathroom, say your tap, your towel hook, your radiator, you can afford to change those things quite quickly. You can easily get a new tap in. It doesn't require taking out the whole vanity unit or taking out, especially if you've got a deck mounted tap, it's easy to replace. So little things that are easy to replace, I would say I wouldn't spend too much money on that. I'll be quite budget friendly with it. But when it comes to like a tray, your shower tray, for example, or if you've got a built-in shower head that you've got in the bath, it can be quite a lot of work or costly to replace those things. So what I would do is splurge a good amount of money on things that are really difficult to replace, that it's going to take a whole lot of work to replace in your bathroom, and spend less money on the things that are easily replaceable. Your mat, your soap dispenser units, all those kind of things are a little bit more easy to replace, and you can replace them ever so often. So that's what I would do. That's my bonus tip for you. Those are my tips if you're having to renovate your bathroom and you do have a budget in mind. I hope those tips help you. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and see you in my next video.